Hello, hello. Thank you all so much for joining us. I'm going to keep waiting just a little bit longer to get officially started with the event. We want to make sure that everyone has time to get situated and get joined into the meeting all right. But it's great to see that attendees number growing and growing. Just to get started, for those of you who are joining us, I'd love to hear where you are all tuning in from. Unfortunately, we can't be inviting you to campus and meeting you in person, but something that's lovely about these virtual calls that we're able to have students tune in from all around the world. So if you'd want to tell us in the chat where you're coming from, we would love to hear it, just to see, who's coming from the furthest. Oh, we have some in-state people. That's awesome. I have never heard of Appomattox, Virginia, but that's really cool. Clearly, I have not been in Virginia long enough. New York City, South Jersey, Waverly, PA. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Pottstown, PA. I have heard of Pottstown. That's awesome. Well, it's so cool to see you all tuning in. Nova, for all of our out-of-state students, Nova is Northern Virginia. Couple weeks to learn when I first got to William and Mary. So I'm excited to share that with you all now. All right, but it seems like we are having a good number of students kind of settle in. I'm sure a couple more students will likely trickle in, but thank you all so much for joining us today for our business school student panel. My name is John David Nichols and I'm an assistant dean of admission here at William. I'm also a 2019 grad of the College of myself, so it's exciting to be here and working with you all. And I'm so honored that you have chosen to tune in for our Zoom call and get to hear from our wonderful business school students. With that being said, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Beth to introduce herself and let the panelists introduce themselves as well.
Oh, great. Thanks, JD. Hi, I'm Beth Snavely. I'm Assistant Director of Undergrad Business in the one-year master's program. My primary focus is to help students navigate the admission process. Hopefully y'all were able to attend Dean Danke earlier in her information session to help you explain the pathway to business. We have five students here for the panel and they're ready to talk. So let's get going. Can y'all first introduce yourself, your name, where you're from, what graduate basic class, your major, minor, and concentration. Madison, I'm going to start it off with you.
Awesome. Hello, everyone. I'm Madison Lee. I'm from Mechanicsville, Virginia, which is right outside of Richmond. So hello to all of my RVA people. I'm a senior graduating in a little bit over a month, which is insane to think about. And I'm majoring in accounting and concentrating in sustainability.
Thanks, Madison. Tara, you want to jump on?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Tara. I am from West Hartford, Connecticut, for all of the out-of-staters here. I am also a senior graduating in 1 month, like Madison said, so class of 2021. And I am a marketing major with a minor in public health and a concentration in business analytics.
Thanks, Tara. Megan, now you want to jump on here?
Yeah, hi everyone, I'm Meghana. I'm a junior here at the college. I am from Ashburn, Virginia, so Nova, like a lot of you. I am a finance major in accounting concentration, and I'm also a religious studies minor.
Thanks, Megan. I haven't forgot you guys. Jack, you want to jump on?
Yeah, how's it going, everybody? My name's Jack. I'm also from Northern Virginia, or Nova. I'm graduating class 2022, and I'm a finance major with a consulting concentration.
Thanks, Jack. Austin.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Austin Washburn. I'm from Powhatan County, Virginia. I'm a junior here at the college, and I'm a major in business analytics with a concentration in marketing, and I'm also minoring in history.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate that. Each of y'all have something a little bit different to bring to the table here. There's so many different paths to business. Why don't y'all take a moment and explain your story and how'd you end up in the business school? Austin, you just ended for us. Why don't you start it off now?
Yeah, so I kind of came to William & Mary really wanting to do business. And I applied actually early in the fall of my sophomore year, and I actually didn't get in the first time. And I really worked with Miss Snavely and a lot of the other staff at the business school and took that next semester to really raise my GPA, and I reapplied and got in for the fall of 2022. And I was set on majoring in marketing. But in your first semester in the business school, you take what's known as the block semester. And I realized I really found a love for business analytics and I was really good at it. So then right after my first semester, I'm now a business analytics major, and now I'm just concentrating in marketing.
Oh gosh, thanks, Austin. That's wonderful. So Austin started off as a minor and then you went into the business foundation. You want to tell a little bit about that while we're here?
Yeah, for sure. So like I said, I started off not getting in as a major the first time. And so that next semester I took a class called Business Foundations, which is actually taught by Professor Fleet, and he's the president and CEO of the Colonial Williamsburg Foundation. And within that class, I got a really good sense of what I wanted to do in business. And at the time I thought it was marketing, and it really helped me narrow down kind of where I was and kind of introduced me to a lot of different sectors too.
Thanks, Austin. I love the way that you switched over there. Tara, you got a great story to tell.
Yeah, absolutely. So I originally came into school and was dead set on being an orthopedic surgeon, believe it or not. So I took biology for my entire first year and was pre-med up until the beginning of my sophomore year, when I started to take some of those classes that you need to become part of the B school, like microeconomics, macroeconomics, and decided that business and numbers weren't as scary as I thought they were, and I actually ended up liking them. And then, similar to Austin, I entered thinking I wanted to be marketing and took that foundation semester, the block semester as we call it. And after taking intro to finance, business analytics, and marketing, I decided that the more creative route of business was for me. And that's how I settled on being a marketing major instead of a biology major. But it is possible to switch from science and do business and keep a bit of your science degree, as I did with my public health minor. So I get the best of both worlds with William and Mary, with that liberal arts college education and the business education as well.
Thanks, Tara. That's a great story. I love the way you switched. Madison, can you?
Yeah, kind of different. I actually knew I wanted to do accounting since high school. My high school offered an accounting class, and I really liked how it was practical approach to problem solving. So when I was looking at colleges, the quality of the business school is really important to me. And I chose William Mary as the best fit for two main factors. The first was that I could take business classes before I was officially in the business school. You have to take certain prerequisites, which included principles of accounting. So I'd be doing what I enjoyed. And there are also some other classes like financial services industry that you can take before you get into the business school. And the second reason was because we have a 3+1 Masters of Accounting track, which means I did my undergraduate in 3 years, and then my master's will be next year. So I get the whole 4-year experience, but 2 degrees out of it, which was really cool. I'll be able to hit the workforce running and be more prepared for my certification tests.
That is so awesome, Madison. I love that, the 3+1. Jack, you want to talk about your path?
Yeah, so I came into school similar to Tara. I wanted to be a physical therapist, so I wanted to go the kinesiology route. But the spring of my freshman year, I took a class called Diversity in the Workplace with Professor Guthrie, and she kind of helped show me the realm of business and kind of helped with my professional development and helped me create a LinkedIn account and really showed me what business was all about and encouraged me to apply to the Distinguished Finance program. So I applied to the Distinguished Finance program and found that I really enjoyed numbers and problem solving in that sense. So after that, I decided that finance might be for me, and I applied to the business school. And Professor Guthrie was there with me, holding my hand all the way in, and it's been a great decision. I've really enjoyed it.
Great. Thanks, guys. Y'all talk about a couple of classes that we offer before coming to the business school. Austin, you talked about the business foundation. You talked about the diversity class, and we also have the finance class. So they're the only three we offer before you actually come into the program, except for the principles of accounting. I just kind of want to point that up for you. Those classes are 492 classes, which is not an upper level class. It's just a special topics class in the business school. So when you're coming in and you're looking for that, that's just something to think about. So let me move on. The admission team is looking to see how you spend your spare time. Is it possible to balance activities on campus with academics while you're in the business school? Megan, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I think some of my most enriching experiences at William Mary have also come from my extracurriculars. And I think they really help us be like holistic people. If you come here, you'll realize that every single student has like 10 different interests and they're passionate about them and they pursue them. So I'm really passionate about William Mary's campus and advocating for groups on campus. I'm the newly elected student assembly, like student government, I guess, president. So I'm really excited to work with everyone. But even within the business school, we have amazing clubs that have honestly taught me as much as some classes and have honestly given me my career interests. So I was involved with Smart Women Securities, which is a national organization with a chapter here that teaches us how to research equity, or stocks, as some people know it. I know I did not know vocabulary coming in. And also I am a part of Finance Academy and Financial Literacy. So these are clubs that teach you a lot about your career paths and kind of expand your horizons. But also, like, I've met a lot of friends at William & Mary. I'm a part of Tri Delta, which is a sorority on campus, and a lot of my closest friends have come from that. So it's really possible to come here and just be a holistic person and like pursue your passions while taking all those like hard classes that you're interested in.
Thanks, Megan. Now, you've been extremely busy. Austin, you want to jump on here?
Yeah, so I don't know if we have any other student athletes out there, but I actually play on the men's basketball team, and I'm also I'm in the student athletic advisory committee as a representative for men's basketball. So with athletics, I mean, it probably takes up around 20 hours a week, especially in season when you're traveling a lot, and it is extensive travel schedule. But one of the best things about William & Mary is the professors are really good at working with you and figuring out when the best time for you to take makeup exams or record, lectures so you can go back and watch if you miss class. So I think it's definitely doable. I've really not had a problem figuring out my class load and really balancing athletics with the workload in the business school.
Thanks, Austin. Tara.
Yeah, so I'm also a student athlete here. I'm on the swim team, and I thought that coming in, balancing business and being an athlete was going to be the only two things I could fit in my schedule. But I found that quickly to not be the case, just because, as Austin mentioned, professors are so accommodating and everyone really encourages you to pursue all of your interests on campus. So I am also in Greek life. I'm in Kappa Kappa Gamma here on campus, as well as an intern for the BBA marketing department at the business school. And I'm also the director of digital marketing for a student-run marketing agency named Agency 1693 that is completely run by students at William & Mary. And we work with small businesses around Williamsburg to do all of their marketing needs. And so I've really been able to pursue all of my interests by interning and having these jobs in marketing, which I love, and getting some real life experience, pursuing my athletic career that I've done since I was 6 years old, and also being in Greek life and expanding my social life on campus as well. So I would say balance is something that is definitely possible here on campus.
Oh, Tara, you're busy too. Thank you so much. Can I say go Tribe, guys? Y'all did extremely well. Okay, so let's tell these students what your favorite class in the business school is and why. And we will start with Austin. You want to start us off?
Yeah, I kind of mentioned it earlier, but my favorite class that I've taken was really in that semester right before I came to business school, which was Business Foundations. And I'd say my favorite part about the class is, how a lot of classes are like 3 tests and it's very like structured in what you're going to do. This class was completely different. We spent 2 weeks on a bunch of different topics. We really didn't have that many exams, and it was so real world that it kind of gave me experience and be like, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is business. And like I said before, the teacher is, he's the president and CEO of the Colonial Williamsburg Foundation. So he gives you real world application. And then your final exam is you take a case study and you break it down, and that's how you're graded on the, for the class. So it was definitely one of my favorite classes that I've taken.
Thanks, Austin. I think everybody enjoys that class. I'm so excited we brought it to the program. Madison, you want to jump in here?
Absolutely. There's so many to choose from. Like Austin, I really like the case-based courses. So my favorite was strategic cost management, which is like managerial accounting. And it was really a case-based course where we apply the concepts we've learned to real world issues. And we're able to exercise that critical thinking and recognize that real world problems are not as black and white as the formulas on the sheets we're given. And I also thought it was a testament to how well the professors were handling the COVID and adapting to it. The professor had never done a flipped classroom before, which means we did lectures outside of class and took notes, and then really engaged with the material and did these cases and application when we were together. So it was more engaging and we got less Zoom fatigue that way.
That's great. Thanks, Madison. I appreciate that. Jack, you want to jump on here?
Yeah, so my favorite class was equity markets, which is now known as investments. This is my favorite class because it helped me like a lot with financial literacy and understanding when I would look up a stock online, what each individual number meant and how that got there. It really helped me, and it made my brain think, which is why I really enjoyed finance at the start. So taking equity markets just furthered my liking for finance. So that was awesome.
Thanks, Jack. That is pretty cool on the finance side. One more question. What is one piece of advice for students interested in applying to the business school? So Austin, we'll start off with you.
Yeah, and I think I've mentioned this before, but like one of the things that makes William & Mary is the people. And I think one piece of advice that I would give to everyone is that when you're applying, especially, like, use the staff to help you, because they know exactly what the reviewers are looking for, and they know exactly how to model your application in order to give you the best chance to get in. And I know the first time I didn't really take advantage of that. And then the second time, Miss Snavely and I, we really worked 3 or 4 meetings and modeled my application. And the second time I was much more confident. So that would be my piece of advice.
Thanks, Austin. I really appreciate that. Madison, do you have some advice?
On a similar vein, take advantage of our alumni, talk to as many people as you can, because they absolutely love sharing their insights with students. It makes them feel so good to be able to help out and talk about what they do, and know that someone else thinks it's cool too. So if you're curious about a major or a career, or even just like what college you want to attend, if you guys haven't made that decision yet, just reach out to them and ask whatever questions. It can also be helpful to you later on for internships and job positions.
Thanks, Madison. I appreciate that. Megan, are you want to jump on here?
Yeah, along the similar lines, like, really lean into the community around you. I think the benefits of going to a small school in Virginia is that everyone's looking out for each other. And that's a culture that's particularly true in the business school. I remember this year, earlier in January, where I was going through like a mid-career crisis, and like alums would just drop everything and talk to me. And they said, and I was like, whoa, why are you doing this? And their answer was, I just hope you do this to someone else so we can continue like the pipeline of like the great internships and opportunities we're getting. And that's definitely true. Like, lean into your professors, lean into administrators here are amazing. Like, I think they've helped me with so many things, and lean into the friends around you, because people here are really helpful.
Thanks, Megan. Oh, I'm sorry. I got one more question for y'all. It's the one all the parents want to hear. What career do you see yourself pursuing in the future? Do you have a job or internship opportunity lined up? Let's go in class order. Let's see. Tara, you want to start us off?
Yeah, absolutely. So like I mentioned before, throughout the year, I intern with the business school, actually in their marketing department for undergraduates. And I also am part of the agency 1693, which is a student-run marketing agency, but we get paid like people do at normal marketing agencies. It's just run by a bunch of William & Mary students. And I've also interned at the past for a marketing agency down in Charlotte in North Carolina called Red Ventures. And I am pursuing a full-time role there as a digital marketing analyst starting in August of 2021. So I would say that the business school has really prepared me for these opportunities with both real life experience and networking opportunities. I found my internship that led me to my full-time job from a William & Mary alumni that I met through the business school. And I would say a lot of my peers have similar stories to that, because the alumni network and professors are so helpful in helping you find those careers.
Oh, thanks, Tara. We're going to miss you. She really helped us out in the undergrad program. Madison, I'm going to talk about what you have available.
Yeah, so last summer I interned at a local CPA firm in Richmond doing taxes. I realized that tax is not the move for me. So another piece of advice, knowing what you don't want to do is just as valuable as knowing what you do want to do. So this summer I'll be working for PricewaterhouseCoopers in Richmond in their audit department. And then hopefully after graduation doing a full-time position there, and then moving into their sustainability branch.
Thanks, Madison. Congratulations. Jack, you want to jump on here?
Yeah, so this past winter, I was an internal accounting intern at a firm in Northern Virginia. And then this upcoming summer, I'm going to be doing government consulting for Baker Tilly. And then I currently have one job offer as a technology solutions full-time consultant for a firm in Northern Virginia.
Wow, congratulations, Jack. That's awesome. Austin.
Yeah, so for the future, I'm really looking to be a business analyst. I would love to go into the field of sports analytics, but I'm still really looking for an opportunity to break into that field. This past winter, also through a William & Mary alumni, I had an internship at New Crops Homestyle Foods, which is a food company. And what I did is I analyzed the retail sales and like found the best selling products in different locations and different types of stores. So that's what I found.
Great. I bet that was fun. Thanks, Austin. Megan,
Yeah, so I've pivoted several times in my college career. My freshman summer, I thought I was really into accounting, so I interned in Deloitte's audit practice, decided not into accounting. So then I pivoted again into, I thought I really liked research and researching equity. So I was an asset management intern for Fidelity Investments. It's supposed to be in Boston, but COVID hit. I was in my childhood bedroom. But that's what I did last summer. And I realized I loved research, but I wanted something more client facing and fast paced. So this summer I'll be interning in JP Morgan's investment banking division, and it's in New York and it's in person. So I just hope I get to go. But yeah, that's what I'll be doing this summer.
congratulations, Megan. That's wonderful. I just have one more because I know a lot of the parents want to know and the students want to know about the study abroad. And I think only two of y'all have studied abroad. Is that correct? Tara, you want to talk about your experience?
Yeah, so like I mentioned before, I'm a student athlete here on campus. I work 2 part-time jobs while I'm here, and being in the business school, I really didn't know if study abroad would be possible. But as everyone has mentioned before, all of the faculty and staff here on campus are extremely helpful and flexible in terms of finding something that works for you if you want to do it. And so I was able to study abroad in London and take some marketing classes, specifically in fashion marketing while I was there, which is my passion, hopefully my future career further down the line. And so I spent 3 weeks to a month. It was in between 3 weeks and a month in London, studying that, working with brands like Burberry and Victoria Beckham's design brand, and studying marketing with them. And it was the best time of my life. My friends will make fun of me because I still talk about it 2 years later, but I highly recommend studying abroad in your time here at William & Mary, because you can find a time to do that, whether it be in the summer or for a semester while you're on campus or throughout winter break. There's always time for everyone to do it. And it's a great experience.
Yeah. Tara, were you able to transfer credits in?
Yes, I was. The credits that I took transferred and counted towards my graduation, and as well as my Call 300, which is amazing.
Oh, nice. Wow, nice. Yeah. Thanks, Tara. Madison, I think you studied abroad?
I did study abroad. I did it during the summer between my freshman and sophomore year. I went to Spain, and it was completely unrelated to business. It was about cultural identity while we walked the Camino, which is a pilgrimage route in Spain. And I decided to do it during the summer because trying to do undergrad in 3 years, that's kind of the only place I could fit it in. But during freshman year, I sat down with one of the business school advisors, and they helped me plan it out to make sure I was able to do that.
Good. Oh, that's nice. Thanks, Madison. Well, that's all the questions that I have. JD, are you in the chat room? Is there something we need to answer? Okay. You're on mute.
Yes, we do have a couple of questions, if I can unmute myself. Does the business school do a good job of providing you with opportunities to find jobs outside of Virginia post-grad?
Someone want to jump on that?
Yeah, I can jump into this. I will be honest, I'm from Connecticut. I never really was looking for jobs in Virginia in the first place. I do love Williamsburg, but beyond that, I decided Virginia wasn't for me. Like I mentioned, I have a full-time role set up in Charlotte in North Carolina starting in August. And I was also looking at full-time jobs in New York when I was still pursuing a career. And the business school really did help to prepare me for that, especially the alumni network, as well as the Cohen Career Center website, which is separate from the business school. But there's a lot of career fairs where people will come from all over, companies all over, just to talk to William & Mary students and network with you because we have such a great reputation. And I think that's really special, as well as just on LinkedIn. I remember I was looking for an internship at Chanel in New York City, and there's a William & Mary alumni who works there currently, and I messaged her and she was very open to talking with me. Like everyone has mentioned, everyone is so willing to help you with that. And so I really don't think I would have had any of the opportunities I did if it weren't for the William & Mary staff and alumni and faculty. So they definitely can help you, especially outside of Virginia. There's William & Mary people wherever you go, surprisingly, but it's true. I even saw someone in London, so.
Oh, that's great. Megan, yours is in New York. You want to talk about that and how you got that one?
Yeah, so what's really cool is the business school sends you a weekly email, and every week in that email, they list out every single like summit, internship, full-time job offer opportunity that's coming their way. So like every week you get this email and it has like, it's ranked in terms of like the nearest due dates, in terms of like who was the reference. And that email honestly allowed me to understand the recruitment process. So you're just getting firms that they compile like firms that are interested in William & Mary, but also firms that are like so large. Like for example, the bank I'm going to that doesn't really recruit at William & Mary because it's just so large. It doesn't recruit anywhere really around here. But because they have such a large holistic admissions process, the business school kind of educates you on that too through their weekly email. So that's kind of how I got those positions. And honestly, a lot of what I've learned about like internships available to me have been through that email.
Oh, that's great.
Awesome. All right. So did any of you take courses that are offered through the DC Center? No.
No.
Well, I did when I was at so I can speak to that. It's a great resource. They try and switch up the course offerings pretty frequently to make them engaging and exciting for all kinds of students in various departments and majors. Two of the programs that I took part in were leadership and community engagement, which was often appealing to a lot of our business majors, kind of analyzing the leadership structures at a lot of different kind of agencies and workplaces across the DC area. So we went to law firms and to nonprofits and to the Congress and to tons of different locations and things like that to really kind of understand the industry and what it really means to be a leader across different disciplines. If you have more questions about that, we did have a session on the DC Center that I'd highly recommend checking out. It'll be posted on the website hopefully by the end of this week. So do athletes tend to study abroad only in the summer? I know that we have a couple athletes.
I would say yes, just because being a student athlete, most of us, if our season is even just in the fall or in the spring, you do have practice still and whatnot in other seasons as well. I think potentially through winter break could be an option for some sports. Just, I know not for mine. I swim, as I mentioned previously, and we compete from October until the end of February or March. So the summer was my only option, but I think maybe the winter for some other sports, I'm not quite sure, but I know the semester long one is most likely not an option.
Awesome. All right. So kind of tying it back for any of our students who are in the previous session with us, would you all be able to talk about kind of your experience going through the prerequisite courses? We had a lot of questions about those and kind of were they, you know, how did they relate to kind of your business school experience? No one's really excited to talk about micro and macro. I understand. I wasn't really there.
I can go ahead and talk about those. So I actually really enjoyed those classes. When I got denied from the business school the first time, I actually became an economics major because I thought that could be a potential path for me. So the prerequisites classes, you have stats, calc, principles of accounting, and then macro and microeconomics. I think it's still that way. But I really enjoyed those classes. I did well in them, and it kind of, when you kind of take those classes, it kind of reminds you like, yeah, okay, this is kind of what I'm supposed to do, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. We just got another question about it. Kind of, how do you recommend spacing out those prerequisites? So did you try and do them all at the same time? Did you guys space them out over a couple different semesters?
I guess I can come back. My advice would be, if you're not good at math, don't take calc in your first semester. I took calc and stats in different semesters, and I took micro and macro in different semesters. I would suggest that you do the same because those classes are a little bit difficult, but that's my advice.
Yeah, and I can jump in. Most people space it out over the course of like 2 to 3 semesters. That's where you get most of them done. And yeah, Austin was on the dot. Like, don't take micro and macro at the same time. You're going to get confused. Don't take calc and accounting at the same time if math is like not your forte. Like, you know, spread it out a little bit. And also, yeah, it fits very nicely. Like, you can take it over the course of 3 semesters, so you can finish it by like the first semester of your sophomore year.
I was also going to hop in and say there are some classes I know that are offered over the summer as well for a shorter period of time, but if that's an option for you, if you want to stay in Williamsburg, even some of them I believe are online. I know not me personally, but I have friends who took calculus over the summer to get that out of the way and have it be the only class that they were focusing on at one time because math wasn't their forte. And so that's also an option for people as well.
Very smart. Calc was not my forte. All right. So when is the earliest time that I can apply to the business school?
I can take that. So I applied a year early to the business school. So I came with my calc and econ credit. So, and I think Madison was in the block with me, but like I applied right after my second semester of freshman year. So I applied in that June where the business school does like a special like admission cycle, I guess. And I was able to get in my sophomore fall. So I guess that could be the earliest you could apply, I'm guessing. Yeah.
You would have to have the 54 credits and you would have to have the prerequisites before you start the program. The 54 credits is the key there.
So my camera seems to be a little bit, you can hear still. But the next question is, what aspect of do most women marry towards? Is it international business, accounting, things like that?
I'm going to repeat the question just because I think JD's he's cutting in and out. So the question was, what aspect of business do most William & Mary students gravitate towards, i.e. accounting, IB? Honestly, from my perspective, I don't think that there's one that most people gravitate towards. I would say, do you think it's pretty evenly split, Beth? I'm sure you
It's a little bit higher on the finance side, I would say. And then right behind that, because of business analytics being so new, program has come behind. And marketing, that's another big one too. So I would say business analytics and marketing are right there together. Accounting seems to be backing up a little bit. I think is because of business analytics would be my guess there. So finance would be, I mean, everybody comes in saying, I want finance. So I send them up to the Bowley Center to see if that's what they want. Like Jack said, when he did the distinguish, he knew how to handle it, go that way with it. So.
Awesome. Sorry about that, everyone. Having some internet issues, I guess. Oh, and my other one is still here. Interesting. Okay, well, anyway, there we go. So I can't see any of the questions anymore, but I do remember one of them, which was asking kind of more generally about student life. So can you all maybe talk a little bit about, I think it was specifically asking about fraternity and sorority life. So would any of you who are involved in that area maybe want to speak to kind of how much of that aspect was part of your William & Mary community?
I can start us off with this. So I joined William & Mary and I was on the swim team. So I thought that was going to be enough for me socially, but there's so many wonderful people here on campus that I decided I wanted to do more. And so I actually rushed Greek life when I was the fall of my junior year, which is a bit later than some people, but I still had a wonderful experience and joined Kappa Kappa Gamma. And I would say that it's definitely been great and it's so much fun, but I don't think joining Greek life necessarily is necessary to having a social life on campus because there's so many clubs and different organizations that you can join outside of that, as well as friends that you'll meet in your classes and just in your dorm and around campus. And because it is such a small community, I think you can find your people regardless. So it's not necessary, like I think at some bigger state schools it might be, but it definitely is a great addition if it's something that you're interested in.
Yeah, and I can go off on that. Like I did did it the other way where freshman year I rushed immediately because I thought like I want friends, I really want friends. But now that I reflect on my social life, a lot of the people I hang out with are from like the clubs I'm in, or like the school is so small. Like I'll go into a class now and I'll know everyone in the class. I'm like, it's all of you again. So like you get really close to the people in your classes and your clubs, and that's kind of who you end up hanging out with a lot. So yeah, social life is definitely not only through Greek life at the school.
So there's kind of a unique question about, can students participate in the William & Mary and Columbia Joint Engineering Program? I'm a little bit confused about whether or not you can do that as a business major. And I think the answer is likely yes, if you're a double major in business and also the physics. But I'm not sure that many choose to do that.
We're losing you, JD.
Oh, no.
You there? There you are.
Okay, I'm here. But hopefully that answers kind of their question.
It'd be like a double major.
Yes, you'd have to double major. but I think that should work. So another fun question, oh, my internet is unstable again. Another question that I was kind of thinking of, on the school application, it asks for your why business. And Jen, in the previous session, was kind of emphasizing how important it is to talk about why business for you and not business for your parents or for you think it's the best option. So would any of you want to talk about kind of your application to the business school and talk about what your why business was?
Can talk about my why business. Mine is kind of strange in accounting because I want to go into a very niche field, which is environmental accounting. And I liked business to help solve the problem of the environment. I'm really passionate about environmental advocacy because it's a very practical way to solve that problem of, okay, how can we make these sustainable practices economically feasible for businesses and even profitable? So I saw it kind of as a very practical and organized way to do that. And my parents definitely love business. My mom was always like, you should do business school. But I was able to like put it with a passion. So it was more about like me forging my own way than my parents saying like, do this or do that.
I think it's sometimes easy to forget that kind of business plays a role in most fields that you go into. And so it's going to be a great base for kind of any of those passions. So that's a great answer. Anyone else? Want to talk about their why business?
I can go. So I am someone who I've just realized, or I was a debater in high school, but I just love reading the news. And it could be political news. It could be like, economics news, what's happening with the economy, things that are happening with like these new deals, what's happening with technology. And when I took like when I joined my first finance club in William & Mary, I realized that finance is just a reflection of all the things I like reading about. And it's just a way for me to take current events and apply it to how the markets are reacting, or how do you know if a company is strong, or how do you know if the economy is strong? And I thought that was really interesting for me. I'm really interested in things like politics and all that, but I also love financial like theory and concepts. And I realized you can actually marry the two when they're really important. So that was kind of my why business. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So can you speak a bit more about summer courses? I like the idea of accelerating my studies and love summer classes, but I'm nervous about the nature of William & Mary, especially their summer courses. Have any of you taken a summer class here at William & Mary? Awesome. Yeah, Tara, do you want to speak to it first?
Yeah, absolutely. So I took human body, which is a kinesiology course the summer after my freshman year for my public health minor. And I was also nervous just because it is a shorter time period and the class was for a few hours a day, which is longer than normal classes. So I was very concerned it was going to be too much information crammed in at once, but it absolutely wasn't. The professors, as we keep repeating, but it's true, they're so accommodating and helpful that they really work with you and just want you to learn the material and get the class down, but they're not going to cram and force all this stuff into your head over the course of 4 weeks. And it was actually a really great experience and I'm glad I got it done. And I know a lot of my friends who have also taken summer courses are really glad just because you have more time since this summer and you're not taking a full course load. And also the professors are more relaxed because it's summertime as well. And I think overall it's a really great experience. And William & Mary nature as a whole is a bit intimidating, I can say, coming in because we are such a great academic institution, but like everyone keeps saying, the professors and the faculty and the staff really want you to succeed as well. It's not somewhere they don't want you to fail. They're not going to push you to your breaking point. So I wouldn't be as nervous as the reputation gives it.
Absolutely. Austin?
Yeah, so I had to be back for the summer for summer workouts for basketball, and I took a intro to creative writing class, and it's also one of my favorite classes I've ever taken. It was like 10 people in the summer class, and we all like sat in a circle and we read stories and like wrote poems and stuff. So it was like one of my favorite classes I've ever done. And yeah, I definitely recommend taking a summer course if you have the availability to do so, because like Tara said, you have so much free time that you really don't have to do that much work when you think about it.
All right, and we're getting a question kind of about the acceptance rate of the business school and some of the reasons that students are rejected. I will let Beth talk about this. We also discussed this in our last business session, which will be hosted on the website later this week. So you're welcome to check out that session for more of the nitty-gritty aspects of kind of the application process, the admission statistics, and things like that. But I will let Beth answer it right now as well.
Each semester is a little bit different depending on who's applying. Our average has been between 70 to 75% acceptance rate. Those that are applying for the major, we also tell them to apply for the minor. You get in with the minor in the courses that you actually want to take. I think Austin mentioned that earlier. I mean, he started off with the minor in marketing. He was able to take the course and then he moved right back into the major. So all those students that applied over the last 3 years, I've been with undergrad business for 3 years now, we're accepted in the minor program. Sometimes for the not accepted might be something as looking at grades one more time. It could be the essay's not quite right. It could be, you know, as Jen said, Dean Danke, she might have said this to you earlier, is don't talk about your lemonade stand. Don't talk about your parents. Talk about you. We want your story. And it's also okay to come into the business school and not know what you want. It's okay to pivot around in there. You don't have to be locked into finance. You don't have to be locked into marketing. You can come in not quite knowing what you want to do. So I hope that helps. You're on mute.
Oh my goodness. All right, so does AB Calc satisfy the business prerequisite or only BC Calc?
I think it's only BC, I believe.
It was in my head too.
Yeah, 'cause I did take BC calculus in high school, and I think you have to get a 4 or 5 on the exam to
Right.
have it qualify as credits. But I believe AB only counts as Calc 1, and you need both Calc 1 and 2. Is that correct? 2 semesters of it. So AB calculus only counts as 1 semester of calculus. And if you take BC, that's the 2 semesters of college calculus, if that makes sense. If I believe that's right.
I think I only took, in high school, I only took 1 semester of calculus and it counted.
So then maybe not.
Good one to reach out to me, but our transfers at wm.edu, they can definitely guide you on that side. And as you said, has to be a 4 to come through. So we also, one more thing, the stats, we are doing business stats now. We're not doing a math stat. So that could be, if you're thinking you're transferring in a stats, it must be business. So.
There's another question in here too. I think it was from before when you got bumped out, JD, about calc as well. It says, did you take calc, macro, micro in high school and retake it at William & Mary? I definitely know some people who did, just because sometimes if you're taking those classes in high school, you might forget what you learned, and high school is very different than college. So you might want to retake those. But also I know a lot of people who took those classes and got the scores they needed on AP exams and used those to get into the B school. So it's whatever you prefer in regards to that, or if your AP score wasn't high enough, perhaps retaking it and maybe having an easier time because you already took it in high school. So.
So why do students pick the William & Mary Business School over other business schools all over the country?
I can answer this one. And this is an answer I've developed over the past 3 years. So this isn't what I'm thinking before, but this is what honestly my thoughts are on it. I think what's so unique about the business school here is that you're taking business school classes in a liberal arts institution. So you're thinking about things in a very different way and in a very holistic way. And that sometimes you get this blend of technical skills that you don't get at a liberal arts school. And you get this blend of like studying the world and different viewpoints that you don't get from like a technical school. And I've honestly realized that I think about things like very differently in my internships, and it actually helps me stand apart. So I think that's a key strength of the William & Mary Business School. And also our professors are amazing. Like your classes are 25, 30 people. Your professors know your name. They know everything about you and they teach so well. Like for my hardest interviews, I've had to study for 30 minutes because they've taught me so well that it's just, I can't forget them. So that's 2 reasons why, I guess.
Yeah, just to hop on that, I think the people at William & Mary really set the business school apart. Like we keep talking about the alumni network and how helpful they are, the professors and how you develop these personal relationships with them. I mean, I have professors from my sophomore year that still email me from the business school to say like, good luck at your swim meet. Like they really, really care about you as a human being. And I think at a lot of business schools, you don't have that same relationship with those people. And especially the alumni network as well. They really just want to see you succeed. And especially because William and Mary is really one tribe, one family, which I know is so cheesy, but it's the truth. Like those people will look out for you for the rest of your life.
I was going to mention, go on LinkedIn and start reaching out to some of the alums so they can tell you how they feel about the business school and William and Mary in general. So that kind of helps out there.
On top of that, so on including the MAC program and the being able to take courses before getting into the business school is really the community that set William and Mary apart. Like Tara just said, it's everyone here is very ambitious and they want to do incredible things just like we do. But it's really a community where people know we'll get farther by supporting each other and building each other up and being successful together rather than something competitive of knocking you down to bring myself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how is on-campus recruiting? Does anyone want to talk about kind of the recruiting that goes on at the business school and also maybe through the Cohen Career Center?
We have so many recruiting opportunities. I swear, at least accounting firms are here all of the time. And heck, you might even get tired of seeing them. But just a little secret, they always bring swag and gifts. So that's fun to pick up. But a lot of the times it's alumni who come back because they are all over the place at every firm and want to come back and talk to us. For accounting, we have all of the big four come, PwC, KPMG, Deloitte and EY, as well as smaller ones like Grant Thornton or also local CPA firms, which is how I got my internship. So my advice is just show up at everything, even if like I'm a freshman, I'm not ready to get an internship yet. Really just go and network with them. It's best if they know your name when it does come time for an externship or an internship. Some of them will be more formal. Some of them will be just tabling at the Mason School of Business. Some of them will be strange social things like KPMG once held a little festival night. So just take as many opportunities as you can. They're always here and they're always happy to talk to you.
Absolutely. And then our Cohen Career Center also sponsors two fairs each semester, one fair each semester. So that brings kind of recruiters to campus as well. But there are tons of events happening in the business school as well.
Yeah, you've got tons of events. Megan, as you could talk about Dog Street to Wall Street, you have so many events, meet the firms.
Yeah, we have, honestly, yeah. In finance, there are a lot of programs where alumni come back to campus. And yeah, it's Dog Street to Wall Street. It's if you're a woman, it's Women's Stock Pitch and Leadership Summit. They literally come back, they tutor you, they mentor you, and they tell you, hey, we have some job openings, maybe apply, talk to these other people. And that's really helped me so far. Oh, there's also another thing I want to talk about it. It's like, I forgot it, but it's when you, your sophomore year, the business school picks some people to take with them to New York with them. Like you pick like 10 or 15 sophomores and you get to go to New York and you get to meet all the alumni that work at banks. This was definitely a very pre-COVID world type of thing to do, but I literally got to meet alums that are working at all the banks that I wanted to work at. So that was not on-campus recruiting, but you went there. So that was really cool.
All right, I'm really interested in investment banking, and I was wondering if any of our panelists are in investment banking and how their experience has gone so far.
So I have an internship in it. I haven't done it yet, so I will definitely ask me in the fall and I will answer all your questions. But I can talk about the recruitment process a little bit. Recruitment starts, it's a little early. It's really strange. It starts a year before that summer. So you'll have to start applying, like, suppose like you were a sophomore right now, you would have to start applying over the next month. So that would just work with like, there are like 2 or 3 rounds of interviews. You would have to prepare for them. You'd have to learn questions about yourself and soft skills. You'll also have to kind of study your finance a little bit. But that's how that process works like. And we have a good number of alums at various firms across the country. So you talk to them and you get a lot of tips and you talk to upperclassmen who've been through it. And that's how recruitment works. I don't know how the actual job will be. I will tell you in the fall.
All right. So what kind of business related clubs are you all a part of?
I love this question. I'm glad I get an opportunity to talk about the Gibbs Accounting Society, which I'm the outgoing president of. we're like a connection point between students, professionals, and professors, all in the accounting field. You don't have to be an accounting major to do it. You can just jump in if you're interested. And we host different networking events, informational events. This season, we did an unconventional accounting series. So getting to know all the various jobs you can get in the field. We also host an Accounting Edge panel, which is our big event where we bring in a keynote speaker and a lot of alumni to network with. I was also in Alpha Kappa Psi, which is the business school fraternity. And the best part of that is the pledge process, where you learn a bunch of professional development skills, including how to do an elevator pitch, how to interview, how to send an informational email asking an alumni to talk to you and give you information about their career. So there are a lot of great business school organizations out there, and definitely manageable with academics and clubs outside of the business school.
Anyone else want to share about their involvements in the business school?
I can share really quickly. So the Boley Center, which you'll learn, is kind of a center that kind of navigates our clubs and professional opportunities within the business school. And yeah, there are several clubs. So I was president of Smart Women Securities, which I talked about before. You like teach women how to research equity. There's Finance Academy, which is like our umbrella thing. So if you're even distantly interested in like business, anything, go to that club and they kind of teach you like the basics of how to navigate the industry. There's the Mason Investment Club, where you learn how to get like investment experience. You actually manage like real-time money and you manage that fund. There's the Financial Literacy Program, which is a new program, and you are able to like research like basic personal finance and actually teach it to William and Mary students. And it's actually a paid position. I've loved doing that. And there's also Women in Business, which is like an umbrella organization as well. And they teach you like how to do interviews, how to like write your resume. So there are several opportunities there as well.
All right, so there are a couple more questions coming in, but we are getting close to the deadline. And so I think what I would rather have us do is maybe go around and share one kind of like final piece of advice for students who are here on tuning in for kind of our digital days for admitted students. If you can think back to those days when you were kind of going through the college decision process, and kind of share one final piece of advice that you have for these students. And if you're comfortable, sending your email address to the chat, so that students may be able to reach out with any follow-up questions that they might have about your involvements or your majors or your opportunities. That would be great as well. So Austin, do we want to start with you maybe?
Yeah, I think we've talked about it a lot, but I think my one piece of advice is William & Mary is full of great people. And as soon as you get here, meet as many people as you can, whether it's fellow classmates, professors, alumni, meet as many people as you can, because I'll tell you, 4 years will go by really quick, and you're going to meet lifelong friends and professional relationships here. So meet as many people as you can.
Awesome. Madison?
Yes, I would say just take as many opportunities as you can. And I know it's really nerve-wracking to jump into something if you don't know about it, but everyone's willing to teach you, and just give the ball rolling. Once you jump in, you'll be engaged and be glad you took the chance.
Tara?
Yeah, I mean, speaking on what Austin said, 4 years here really does fly by. I mean, I'm coming up my last month and I wish it could have gone slower, but I would say William & Mary is a very, very special place. I looked at a lot of bigger schools. I had a lot of friends going to big state schools like UMich and Ohio, Miami, and all of those kind of bigger schools. And I really didn't want to do my own experience, but I'm so glad that I did, just because, like everyone keeps mentioning, the people here are so special and it's such a unique environment that I'm very grateful to have chosen to come here. The alumni, the staff, the friends I've made, there's nothing quite like it. And I feel like it's truly an environment where everybody can grow to their full potential, if not more than what they thought they could be, just because it's so well suited for every single type of person. And so I don't know, I would go William & Mary if I were you, but obviously I'm biased. Just trust your heart, and if it feels like home, then go for it.
Awesome. And Meghana, you actually sent your email address to just the panelists. Would you mind sending it again as well as we give your final words of wisdom?
That's embarrassing for me. Okay, I'll send that again. Okay, hey panelists, you want to email me, but okay. Some advice I'd be is come with an open mind. You know, when you're writing your why William Mary essay, why business essay, you have like a one, you have a purpose to that, but expand your purpose once you get admitted to the programs. There are so many opportunities. And if your heart's saying go explore one opportunity, go explore it. Don't think you have to like be, follow this path that everyone around you seems to be following.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you all so much. Beth, do you have any final advice for these students?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just did what everybody said here. I mean, we enjoy meeting you. We enjoy helping you with the process. I mean, that's our goal in life. And JD, on your side of it, just bring them in as y'all come into JD's side. JD sent you to me. And so kind of work together as we go through the program. Tara's leaving us. This is the last time Tara and I will be on a panel together. So I'm going to cry. Madison, I get to the MAC program. I was so excited. She's not leaving me. Megan and Austin, I still have around. So I'm just like that empty nester when they leave. So, but anyway, it's some great students here, and they all work very hard.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, thank you all so much to our panelists for joining us today and sharing your William and Mary experiences. I know that our accepted students truly appreciated hearing from you and learning your expertise in the business world here at William and Mary. And thank you to our participants as well for tuning in on this Thursday afternoon. We really appreciate you spending your time with us and coming here to learn more about our programs. As I've mentioned, we have all of our previous sessions for our digital days for admitted students posted on our website. This session will be up and posted hopefully by early next week. We just have to get some captions added to it, and it'll be posted on the website as soon as we can. But thank you all so much for tuning in, and I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful night. Bye, everyone. Megan, I believe you are the host, and so you can officially end the meeting if you'd like to.
Amazing. So much power. Okay.
I
Bye,
know.
guys.
Bye, everyone.